Wi-Fi.
And I
worry there. Yeah, we were in panic.
Welcome to Friday with Friends.
Woo-hoo.
Thanks for tuning in to another edition of Friday with Friends, which is our opportunity to chat about what's happening in the market, some fun, questions that people are asking us, so that you're feeling educated and up to date, so that if you do have any real estate needs or any friends or family who have any real estate needs, that you can think of us as your realtor of choice.
Yeah, that's what we do.
That's what we do. That's why we're here.
The sun is shining.
It's so beautiful.
Your hair looks really brown today.
Thanks. Is that a compliment or?
I think so.
It's called baby hair. Everyone's like, it's getting so long. I'm like, it's because I don't have time to cut it. Hey, Liz. Okay, so today what we're going to be chatting about, hashtag live if you're watching this live, hashtag replay if you're watching this later on, so that if you do add any comments, we can make sure that we don't miss any of those. So Mandy, Abby, what else do we need to talk about? Anything to start?
No, but definitely comment when you come on, say hey,
say hi,
give us a little heart, anything like that. But yeah, what we're talking about today in this episode of Friday with Friends is what you can do to get your house ready after a long winter.
Long winter. And we talk so much about spring cleaning, and people talk about, doing the deep cleaning of your carpets and cleaning your windows, cleaning your screens. People even do cleaning their window treatments, dusting. But there's so many things that people don't talk about that's so important with spring cleaning.
Really, that regards that you might not even be able to see. Too. A lot of times people think, okay, I'll do my windows, I'll make everything shine. But there's a lot of things that are so important to keeping your house in really good shape that you might not even think about or see, but they're so important.
Yes, and that's why when we're talking about on any of the stuff we were chatting about before, it's not just that it's going to be better for you, but that your home and your pocketbook will make sure that you're protecting yourself and that your home's in great shape going into the spring and summer.
That pocketbook.
Gotta love that pocketbook.
This is our version of a pocketbook. If anyone wants a cell phone, I'll cover up your cards.
Yeah.
Anyone wants a cell phone cover? This is our pocketbook.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know.
I joke, my husband's like, so if you lose that, you're gonna lose everything. I'm like, yeah, but conveniently the Find My iPhone app is also the Find My credit card app and Find My driver's license app.
My ID app, yep.
Mm-hmm. See? I'm just ahead of him. Hopefully he's not tuning in today. Hi! Okay, thanks everybody for coming on. Okay, so let's get right into it. So Abby, what are the most important things, what would say the first thing that you talk about in terms of spring prep that we should make sure is a must-have on our to-do list?
I really think the first thing that we should do, finally, when it gets warm, we have some sunshine, I actually did this last night a little bit, is take a nice walk around the outside of your house and really examine if the winter has done any damage, which it very well could have with the windstorms and the ice and the snow. It definitely takes a toll on our houses. So there's a lot of things that go into that. First and foremost, the one that probably a lot of people think about is your gutters, and really making sure those are clean and that the water can run through them and none of them are broken.
Like a downspout, for instance.
Right. Yep. Right. Or it got run over by a lawnmower. Never happened. Just
or shovels, all those things.
Yes,
the
exactly.
whole key for the gutter system is to make sure that water is going away from the house.
Right.
If you are up against foundation versus water will always win.
Always win.
So the key is to make sure it's far away and it's draining away. So the gutters are clean and that the downspouts are redirecting that water into a place that's going away from
the house. Exactly. And sometimes if they get clogged where they, I don't know the technical term, but where they turn, that's where you're getting water coming over top of them, and again could definitely affect the foundation. So that's huge. So gutters are number one. Anything else on that?
No, I think that land and mulch. So a lot of times you're starting to landscape right now. So a lot of times people are putting, your extra mulch on the garden beds, and those are up against the house. Again, make sure that that's sloped away. So if there is a rain, you don't want to go out in the rain, but it really makes sense that you want to be seeing how the water's draining, make sure there's no puddles, and that everything's going away.
Right. Yep. As much as you can grade away from the house, just as Mandy said, that's perfect. And while you're up cleaning your gutters, take a look at the roof.
Yes.
I wouldn't go up on my roof, but
But if you're up there,
yep, or even just you're not on top of the roof.
Like
but
if some shingles have flown off. I mean, those are the kind of things that you need to make it a priority right now, because if there are any leaks, that could be really costly and can be so annoying that you have to fix the ceilings.
Yeah.
If you see anything that's a concern, this is your opportunity to make sure that those are taken care of.
Rather take care of it now than have it be a bigger issue. So really, again, just taking a look at the exterior. Sometimes even, your siding might have chipped away, or a piece might have blown away with all of this crazy wind and things like that we've been having. So really just taking a good look at the exterior of your house and seeing what had this winter done to the house, and taking care of it now.
And the last thing that I'll say on the exterior is the windows. So if you have wood trim around your windows, if you're seeing any cracking or chipping paint, that means that there's water coming in somewhere. So if you're seeing that, really take a look. Where do I need to seal off to really make sure that, and all the rain that we're going to be getting here, that there's no water that's getting in and causing more damage than we can see right now.
That water.
Gosh darn water.
It's
powerful.
It is. Well, speaking of water, tell me what number 2 is.
Number 2 is all about the maintaining that water. So the phase 1 is getting it away from the house. The second most important part is that you're managing water that is in the house. Now here's the reality. Water is probably coming into your house. The key is that we're able to drain it and take it away.
Right.
So the big things is making sure that all of the drains are the floor drains. So in older houses, there's floor drains. Some of the houses, it's like a floating slab in a basement to make sure the perimeter drain is totally clear and not clogged, to make sure that water is going into where it should be going. And most of the time it's going into a sump pump. So making sure that sump pump's clean. And then the last piece about inside the house is a dehumidifier. Any inspector we talks about how important a dehumidifier is.
Yeah, so important. And I always say, why just have one? Throw a whole bunch down there. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. And that's where, a lot of houses, our buyers might not understand, well, is it a floating slab?
Yep.
Is it this? Is it that? What are those different types of things? And it's really important to know your basement and know the system, because a lot of times the floating slab, that's what it's meant to do. And you just have to be knowledgeable about that and, ask the right questions so you can make sure that the water's going to where it should be.
Exactly. And you really want that feeling when you walk downstairs that you're not smelling that mold and that mildew. And like we've talked about previously, have someone else come down and check and to say, hey, do you think that this could smell? And it's not even like black mold. People get crazy about it, but there's something to be said about fresh, dry air that's really going to make everything, your storage and really just the integrity of your house better too. So.
Yeah. It all starts in the basement. It all does.
#foundation.
Guys, who invited her to Friday with Friends? Just kidding.
Okay, so we started with making sure that the exterior is maintaining water.
Nice
and
and tight and sealed.
Hi, Carrie Brown. How we're handling the inside with water. What's the third piece?
So the third piece is really taking a look at your furnace and your AC, especially when we go from 40 degrees to 90 degrees.
In like a day.
Exactly. You want to make sure that your AC, which has just been sitting there for the last 6 months, is tuned up and ready to go. A lot of times with your AC unit outside of the house, you're getting a lot of sticks, leaves, grass, all that different stuff on there. So really before you turn it on, making sure that that's nice and clean. Obviously, you want to have your furnace, your AC serviced, at least once a year is what we typically recommend, just to make sure when we do finally get that hot day, we're ready to go.
Exactly. And, people talk about, well, if I have AC units, we need to make sure we're getting those in. The whole concept is you really want to make sure that they're running efficiently and that they're cleared out. Sometimes people just take a vacuum to their AC, but, having a professional come in, if you do have an AC unit, sometimes the AC unit's tilted. Sometimes it's really just not functioning properly, that those little changes are going to be an investment that is going to elongate the life of your AC, but also be more efficient when you're cooling your house day in and day out.
Great point. Anything else on furnace or AC?
No, I think that's it.
I think that's it.
I think that's
Number
it.
4.
Number 4. So this is my favorite one.
She's been so excited all morning.
So raise your hand or leave me a like or a love if you love ceiling fans. So I don't have any ceiling fans in my house, and it was one of those things I kind of wish that I did, but we have these beautiful tall ceilings. It would really not look as great.
If you were on House Hunters or watched House Hunters,
if you watch House Hunters, you'll see my house. But ceiling fans are so important. Do you know that you are supposed to change the direction of your ceiling fan depending on the time of year?
Oh my gosh, no.
I told her a little while ago.
I really didn't even think about that though.
So in the summer, you want your fan to be spinning counterclockwise. And counterclockwise, I don't know if my hand...
Yeah, I'm like...
Am I backwards? Counterclockwise because they say you want the wind chill. Yeah, of course Chris Brown does that. You want to have the wind chill that comes from the air blowing down.
Okay.
So that just makes it so you're feeling cooler. And then in the winter, you want it to be spinning clockwise. And when it's clockwise, it creates this, like, they call it a gentle updraft.
Oh, yes.
The gentle updraft. And what that does is it makes it so that heat, heat rises. It's not staying at the ceiling, but that it makes it so it's, easily more spread out throughout the entire room.
Who knew?
So it's my favorite. I was really excited about it, but make sure that your ceiling fan is turned. Now, most of the time, everyone's ceiling fan is pointing downwards, so this time of year, that's not important, but it's something to think about. And heck, while you're up there and checking it out, make sure you're, giving the old dust off of all the blades. So those are our top 4.
Those are our top 4. And like we said, there's definitely a lot of other things, your spring cleaning, your windows, making sure that those are, opening safely. I know I just found out that one of mine does not stay open, and that really...
Especially of your babies.
I was thinking my dog, but baby's most important. But that's really scary. So that was just another thing, making sure that those all work. And there's a lot of people that we have too that we would recommend for all of these things.
Great point.
I know I have one of our guys that I need to come over and do a lot of these things that happen throughout the winter, and now we're finally saying, okay, we really want to make sure that we're staying on top of them, and we have a ton of people that we would recommend for all of these things. So never hesitate to send us a message, give us a call, and we always have people we can recommend.
Exactly. What one just came to mind before we stop?
I'm excited.
Is your deck. So I know everyone's loving like Trex deck. But if you do have a
Trex deck is.
Trex deck is more of a composite material that doesn't that's not a natural wood, so you don't have to paint it. All you have to do is power wash it. Power wash it, ultra low maintenance, and then you typically do a vinyl railing with it. But if you have a wooden deck, you want to make sure that is totally clear. So it's a power wash, it's a scrape, those kind of things. And babies just made me think of it, is that when you're out there, you really want to make sure that it's stained really well, that it's stained well, or that it's painted, so that you're not having any of those little things. And again, it maintains the integrity of the wood, so it'll last longer.
That's what I was going to say. A lot of times people say, oh, I want to stain my deck to make it look good, and that's obviously important.
It looks so good,
It looks so good.
I love a fresh painted or fresh stained deck.
Of course.
I'm like,
yep, done. But it also protects the wood, which protects the integrity of it, and making sure that it's really safe, which is definitely important too.
And most important is baby's little fingers and toes.
Little babies.
Most important. Or my fingers and toes. Yeah. As I'm on the ground taking care of them.
Right.
So, okay, all right, well, thank you so much for tuning in.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
We hope you learned all about some awesome spring cleaning tips that you need to make sure are on your to-do list this spring to make sure that your home and your pocketbook will thank you. If you guys have any other things that you want us to be chatting about, let us know. We love hearing your comments. We love your feedback. And of course, the reason we're doing this Friday with Friends so often is because we want you to be able to get the answers for all of the questions that you have, and that's what we're providing. And that way, if you do have any other questions or any real estate needs from yourself, your friends, or your family, you'll think of us as your realtor of choice, and we would absolutely love the opportunity to represent you, whether you're buying, selling, or investing in real estate here in Rochester, Canandaigua, Ontario County, Monroe County, and all the surrounding areas.
All over.
All right. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.